Feed Dump. This week we are all hot because it's very hot outside. It's so hot, in fact, that you might hear air conditioning in this shot. And if you do hear air conditioning, good for you. We're not turning it off because it's hot. This week, I'm hot. Joining me is Cameron, who's also hot.
I had to take off my scarf.
And Ian, who's hot.
I'm planning a trip to the National Ignition Facility because I hear the inside of a tokamak reactor is rather temperate this time of year.
South Yorkshire police reminded drivers that they should take caution when roads are wet. Unlike one driver, the owner of a brand new Ferrari 430 Scuderia, worth approximately £200,000, because he flipped his car and totaled it less than an hour after driving it off the lot.
£200,000 is worth more than everything I've accumulated in my entire life, including a set of reasonably well-used organs. £200,000 would be transformative for me.
I would argue £200,000 was transformative to this man's life as well, because he went from anonymous man to man who destroyed a Ferrari less than an hour after owning it. He has international infamy. We're talking about him on Feed Dump. This has been a very transformative experience for him.
Point of clarification, Kathleen. How transformative was this experience? Are we talking like full body cast or new tiny home that's 6 feet by 3 feet?
Well, Ian, despite the fact that our hero managed to somehow get his car to leave the M1 at extremely high speed, flipping it off the highway, and then landing in such a violent crash that the car caught fire and ended up as a charred, rubbly heap, he ended up with only minor cuts and bruises, according to the police. In fact, they said that the worst injury was a sense of damaged pride.
So a Ferrari Scuderia and a rich man's pride. Good. I was worried something valuable might have been lost.
I guess if I had supercar money, I'd just blow it all on a mini submarine, like Alvin. Yeah.
Good call, Cameron, because you can't wipe that off the M1 by driving too fast.
Yeah, now, but wait till the ice caps melt.
A 31-year-old man from St. Cloud, Minnesota is facing assault charges after a game of Magic the Gathering went horribly wrong. He lost to another man and became so enraged he hit him in the face with a rubber mallet and then stabbed him 7 times in the face and neck. He then called the police, worried that he had killed the other guy, but the other guy actually had non-life-threatening injuries.
What was this monster playing that he deserved to get stabbed so many times?
I'm gonna say Magic the Gathering?
I don't know, Cameron. The police report doesn't include what format they were playing. Probably wasn't Pauper. Oh, maybe it was Tiny Leaders.
But how many comments are there that are literally just deck list, please?
Why the rubber mallet? Was that just laying out? Was he having to peen something?
Well, Cam, how else are you supposed to stab one who's writhing around in a combination of fear, confusion, and righteous fury over the fact that you've been hit in the head when storm count is at 47?
I think we're all missing the really important question here, which is there a GIF?
Cameron, no, you're missing the point. The point of this story is, fine viewers, that if you are getting tilted out at Magic, don't stab people. Don't even hit them with a rubber mallet, even though that would probably just be painful but not actually like injurious in any way. Don't, just take a step back and take a deep breath and remember this is only a game that I'm playing for fun. And then if you really must do something, you could be like all the salty people I've played online, and you can be like, oh yeah, well you're just top decking and you're a net decking luck sack, and it's like, yeah, well I can't help but draw all of these cards. I mean, it doesn't actually hurt my feelings, but it might make you feel better. I mean, you do you, fam, unless you do you is stabbing and hitting people with a mallet, I guess.
And if you still can't hold yourself back, remember, stabbing and hitting with a blunt instrument are disqualifiable offenses, even at a casual rules enforcement engagement.
12 inmates escaped from an Alabama prison after they used peanut butter to trick a guard.
Trick him into what? Thinking a horse was talking? How many generations have to come to realize that Mr. Ed wasn't real?
I've been sitting here for like 5 minutes trying to imagine how this could possibly have gone down, and I have nothing. I need to know.
Well, Cameron, apparently doors at the Walker County Jail have numbers on them. So what this group of prisoners did was they took advantage of a new guard who was working in the control room by using peanut butter to obscure the number above a jail cell, and then yelling at the unidentified guard to open the door to let them in the cell. But they said, yay, hey, open up door number 10, or whatever number it was, and the guard, thinking that was the door they wanted to go into, let them in. But that was actually the outside door. So then they ran away, except for 2 of them who got into a car, because apparently this had been planned out in advance. This complicated web of peanut butter and misdirection.
I was expecting something like they used the peanut butter to assemble raincoats into a raft and then they just sailed away. Or they tricked the guard's throat into closing out of anaphylaxis. But no, this is just Looney Tunes tier. What the hell?
The trick is the peanut butter had nothing to do with it. These people literally just asked nicely to be let out, and they were.
Why peanut butter? Why? Couldn't they get a Sharpie? Why did they have to disassemble a sandwich?
Was masking tape too available? Could they not get enough macaroni and glue from Arts and Crafts Day? Everybody poops!
Maybe the guard was as stymied as we were and just wanted to see where they're going with this. Like, watches them apply peanut butter to the number, watches the number magically change, and be like, I want to see this thing play out.
Real question remaining in my mind was, were they crunchy? Or were these smooth criminals?
How much do they have to know about the inner workings of the prison in order to pull this off? They have to know when the new shifts start, they have to know when new people are coming in, they have to have like a ready available supply of peanut butter to disguise their nefarious schemes. Like, I don't know if this is genius or stupid.
Cameron, they're prisoners. They don't get to leave. They have some time on their hands to figure out the inner workings of the place they are literally required to be 24 hours a day.
Yeah, but I just kind of assume that they spent all of their time walking in circles like in A Clockwork Orange, or planning to put on high school plays like in Oz.
I can see where you'd be confused, Cam, but those are fictions, where anything can happen. We live in the real world, where prisoners can apparently smear peanut butter and fucking just ask to be let out!
Honestly, it's the audacity of this which really captures the imagination. I would never have come up with anything this bold. I would have laid plans for months if I ever wound up in prison, squirreling away resources, securing allies, just formulating plan upon plan. I never would have thought to just say, yo, can you open the door to the outside? I'm not supposed to be in here. And they'll be like, oh, okay.
Cameron, I think what you're saying is that you don't have what it takes to break out of prison or to very, very messily eat a peanut butter sandwich, which is possibly one of the truest things you've ever said about yourself. And on that bombshell, it's time to bring this episode to a close. But remember, there may be better sources of news, but they don't have Ian and Cameron. They aren't going to wish Liam a happy birthday because he bugged me on Twitter, and miraculously I saw it. Normally I'm not good at this kind of thing, so don't get your hopes up, any other viewers. And they don't have this hat, which is rather foppish, but it does come with a size adjuster. I've set it to Teeny Pinhead. Do 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 do.